souls. Today I am starting what I hope will be a new regular reading that I will put out on Wednesdays. And my intention with this is I have several really beautiful decks where the symbolism from each card and the guidebook that interprets the symbolism go into, massively deep depth. And I sometimes hesitate pulling those decks out because I don't feel like I will do the card justice without reading from the book and really diving into the intention of the creator for the card. And with how deep each card goes, it would be really hard to familiarize myself incredibly deeply with that deck. I tend to use these decks on my own, in my own personal life, when I just need some kind of message that's a little deeper. And it just sort of occurred to me that that might be a beautiful reading, to pull out one of those decks, each Wednesday and pull a card. I'm going to do 3 piles, and to just choose a message, a card, a pile that's resonating for you for a really in-depth, deep message from one of these decks. I will be using the guidebook for it and just bringing you, clear, simple message, some sort of beautiful insight, beautiful healing energies coming through, and just tapping into these really deep decks. So that being said, today the deck I want to use is the Lightworker Oracle, and it's the Fierce Love 1111 edition by Alana. I don't know if it's Alana or Elena. I think Alana Fairchild. And honestly, it's a lot of the decks I'm talking about are from her, and she has such beautiful wisdom, but it goes so deep. And I just don't want to not capture the essence of her cards, so I don't use them that often. So let's get 3 piles and a message for you guys, just straight up message from a card from this deck that is needed for you right now, that you need to hear. And this is a reading that if you feel called to multiple piles, 2, 3, all 3, that's totally fine. This is just, whatever you are feeling, whatever you feel called, feel called or drawn into. Okay. I'm talking too much and not focusing on the shuffling. Let's get this one wanted to come out. So unplug from mass consciousness. That's pile 1, and you guys have the Lemurian Quartz. Okay, pile 2. This one feels like it wants to pop out. Alchemical Mutation. And this one has the green or Aqua Calcite. And then pile 3. Reassurance of the Golden Light. And this one is kind of like a honey colored calcite or quartz. I'm not sure if it's quartz or calcite. I think it's calcite. Okay, so those are your 3 piles. Feel free to pause here if you need to kind of feel into these, feel into which pile or piles might have messages for you. And then I will just see you in your readings. Timestamps are in the descriptions, and we will start with pile 1. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 1. You guys chose this beautiful Lemurian Quartz, as well as the card that says unplug from mass consciousness. So before I open the guidebook to just sort of read you the message from the creator of the deck, who is Alana Fairchild, I actually want to do one tarot card along with this. My intention is it's somewhat of a significator card that is indicating sort of your energy and maybe the reason why you're drawn to this pile. And that card wanted to come out. So 2 of Swords. This message could be coming to you due to something where you feel like you're on the fence or a little stuck in, especially in mind or in a relationship or in a feeling of figuring out something that feels fair or just, kind of a stalemate energy. So that is the reason why you've been drawn to this pile, and we are just going to jump in to your message from the guidebook. Just need to find it first. Okay, so unplug from mass consciousness. This is a belief system based on fear, doubt, and distrust that is known as mass consciousness. This belief system says it's safer to stay with the crowd, to not question what you have been taught, to accept what you hear in the media or even in a book, in school, from your employer, from your parents or peers. It tells you that you cannot trust the divine to take care of your financial well-being or your emotional needs. It tells you that you should be afraid and not take risks. It tells you that if you dare to stand up and live your truth, you'll be lost and alone, humiliated, rejected, or even destroyed. You are being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. You are capable of a more creative, imaginative, realistic, loving, and soul-satisfying way of living. To access this more truthful way, you must let go of the way that is too small for your soul. So just before I continue, that was sort of like the summary of the card, and then it goes a little more in depth, and I do want to read that as well, just to give you the full message. My feeling with this 2 of Swords now is that maybe there's something that you're wanting to do or own in your energy or enact in the world that you're holding yourself back from. You're kind of like stuck in your mind trying to weigh the pros and cons, but something where you're like a little bit stuck by the opinions and especially with this card, maybe like a specific other, their energy, their opinion, their sway, their influence, something like that is having you stuck as to whether or not to unplug from their advice and really listen more to your inner, soul and heart calling. So, okay, to continue into the more in-depth couple of pages here. You are brave and aware enough to think outside the square, beyond what society or your peers may consider normal. This is part of your spiritual life purpose. This card brings you a message of support. You are supposed to be questioning things right now, perhaps feeling confused as you wonder why the things you once believed in don't seem quite reliable anymore. You are in a transition from one way of thinking to another, opening up to a new world which you can accept and trust enough to live in because of the upgraded beliefs you are cultivating. And this card, this 2 of Swords, it's a Libra card, and that Libra energy to me has a lot to do with like deep self-acceptance and just coming into exchanges with the world and others in a really authentic, self-accepting way. Okay, you are in a transition from one way of thinking to, let's see, I already read that, sorry. Let's see. Much fear has been garnered and perpetuated through mass media, advertising, and the agenda of those who want to exploit emotional insecurity in others for their own selfish means. Human minds and emotions have been manipulated and conditioned into certain patterns. How can manipulation and conditioning be overcome? by taking spiritual responsibility and reclaiming personal power. This occurs through the strength of the individual who asks, "Is this how I choose to live?" Sometimes breaking from the accepted norms, doing things differently, or being considered weird or strange to family, colleagues, and friends is a sign that you are breaking away from the consciousness of the mass, which is not compatible with your own high-frequency consciousness. Understanding you can still love someone without having to live within their more limited view of the world allows you to break free and connect with a high frequency and love-based reality. That sentence feels important to me because that is talking about that more relational, like there's a specific person or something that you're having to kind of break free of their limited view. You were born to bring a new vibration of thought and awareness to this planet. You are meant to think differently. You will find those who can benefit and even love you for this difference, and those who are challenged or fearful of you for it. Either way, you can love and approve of yourself, nourish those relationships that support you, and practice compassionate detachment from those that do not, without compromising who you are. Keep unplugging yourself one layer, thought, word, and deed at a time from that which the mass consciousness would have you buy into. More stuff, more fear, more competition, more doubt, and more confusion. You can question any thought you don't want to invest in. Free yourself. You have the power to change your world and the world we live in as a result, one liberating thought at a time. She gives sort of like this healing practice at the end, and for this card it is, let's see, I'm just looking at the others to see if it's the same. Yeah, it's always an invocation, I guess, with this deck. So I'm going to read that, and I would be curious to know if that was helpful, because in all of Elena's decks and books, she either has an invocation or a healing thing at the end. Just let me know in the comments if that's something you would want me to continue reading from, doing that healing or invocation thing, if it was helpful or something you never really got to. Of my own free will, I now ask for spiritual intervention and divine protection through the guidance that loves me unconditionally. I now request the thorough and complete removal of any entity, thought form, belief system, cord, attachment, or conditioning from my body, mind, and soul that does not resonate with the pure frequency of unconditional love. I ask for this process to happen with divine gentleness, mercy, wisdom, and blessing. I call upon my own inner power and strength to listen for my truths and stand in the light of those truths at the perfect time and in the perfect way with the loving and empowering assistance of my spiritual team. Through divine grace and my own inner spiritual authority, so be it. May all beings be blessed by divine love. May all beings be happy and free. All right, that is your message for this week. I hope it resonated. I hope it was helpful. I hope it cleared up anything that you've been sort of weighing and measuring and feeling a little tied up about, and a little fearful of getting off the fence with something. Okay, I will see you in another reading. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. As always, I definitely appreciate support with likes, shares, subscribes, and kind and thoughtful comments are always very things that I'm very grateful for as well. But thank you for being here. That in itself is supportive. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your message this Wednesday. You guys picked this beautiful green calcite stone, or Aqua. Before we jump into reading your message, which is alchemical mutation, I want to draw one tarot card for you guys, kind of a significator card. showing your energy and giving sort of an underlying reason for why this message you may have been drawn to. I'm feeling this card. 10 of Wands. So that is a card of like really holding a lot on your shoulders, having been through quite an epic journey, nearing the finish line, but not, kind of feeling like, can I get there though? I'm holding too much. Maybe this is just too much. Have I taken on too much? Am I trying to do too much? 10 of Wands can also be sort of some guidance that you should and can ask for help to carry that load to the finish line in something. So let's see what alchemical mutation has to say to you guys. Just finding it in the book real quick. Okay, here we go. When spiritual light permeates the body, cellular awareness increases. Soul healing occurs and the body becomes more conscious. Our memories, even from past lives, are stored in the tissues of the body. Purification is a spiritual cleansing process that occurs naturally as you make progress on the spiritual path, stimulating your body to release and transform unprocessed psychic material. Your body is the birthing ground of your higher consciousness and the sacred instrument through which soul making occurs. Evolution is rarely a comfortable process, yet what arises from the process will ultimately bring peace and joy. For those who are actively integrating light into their physical bodies through processes of meditation, invocation, and other forms of conscious spiritual practice, the effects are marked. A new radiance in the body will emerge from the disturbance of shedding old skins. It is time to embrace a deeper level of healing change on your life path. Interesting. So this 10 of Wands could have to do with this process of you kind of like shedding, it sort of feels like shedding past consciousnesses, like really opening your body and soul up to generally holding a higher vibration in your consciousness. It can be a destabilizing process. So in light of that, this 10 of Wands feels like this process you're going through may feel like a heavy load, like whatever it is you're trying to shed in order to let that lighter and higher consciousness be within you. It's like really, really heavy things you're having to shed. Like it may completely be reorienting your life and asking you to let go of a lot of things that have had deep and long foundations in your life. And so it's a heavy thing to shed what's being asked of you. But that's where you're going. That's, this is an evolutionary process, and it's just showing that you're like right at the finish line. So 10s can also be that point of like standing in the space between one paradigm and the next. So this is this heavy load, that space of like right at the finish line of something. And to me, it's that finish line of shedding, an old consciousness. Okay, we're going to read a little more that goes deeper into this. The body changes as spiritual light enters. Radiance increases. Intuitive vision will register the increase in light as though the person is lit up from within. They are. Spiritual abilities of the body begin to open, and the person can then channel healing energy or higher consciousness just as naturally as they would set the dinner table or go for a walk. The distinction between body and soul becomes less tangible, and the material world is experienced as a meaningful emanation from the spiritual dimensions, which with its own healing intelligence and higher purpose. Life is experienced as sacred. Spiritual alchemy in the body, triggered by the light, is a beautiful, though at times challenging phenomenon. Symptoms of this process can be unpleasant, and I feel like that's what you're feeling right now. Headaches, other aches and pains, particularly around the main chakra points on the body. Inexplicable fatigue that happens swiftly, then suddenly vanishes, leaving a surge of new energy in its place. Increased sensitivity of the senses from light to sound and scent. And mental obsessions or emotional mood swings are all examples of what can arise as the body adjusts to increased spiritual presence. Fortunately, at the other side of that process is more peace, love, joy, emotional resilience, and mental stability. And this is saying you're almost there. Keep going. That's what you're almost to. What it is unlikely while it is unlikely that you can go through evolution without growing pains, hence the existence of the expression growing pains in the first place, there are certainly simple, healthy, supportive practices you can utilize to minimize the intensity of mutational symptoms and stabilize yourself more readily. If you have been experiencing any of the above and wondered if these or other unusual symptoms could be a direct result of increased spiritual energy affecting the body, then the answer is that this is a possibility. You are encouraged to source whatever professional health support you need to take care of your well-being. You may wish to consider using the following simple practice to make the alchemical mutation process gentler for the body, mind, and soul. Simple yet effective supportive practices include getting regular rest, especially when you feel in need of additional sleep, which is a powerful way for the body and mind to heal and repair, integrate, and reorganize. Naps can support well-being. Allowing yourself time for physical exercise can help release excess energy, especially if you tend to feel mentally congested. Taking time away from meditation, spiritual studies, or discussions and energy work for a day or two, instead, simply being in nature or resting can be healthy. If you work with strong sounds, scents, or visuals, then consider a palate cleanser of sorts, perhaps embracing soft lighting, darkened rooms, and silence for a brief respite. If you have a tendency to push yourself, learning to take time off to decompress will amplify your well-being. I definitely feel that here, that you guys may be pushing yourself, and it may be a moment, like even though you're so close to the finish line and you can feel it or see it or sense it, doesn't mean that you can't still take a break. I think you're being asked to just regather a little bit of strength for the final push. Let's see. Working with cooling, refreshing energy, maybe some cool air or water, can balance too much heat in the body. The oracle speaks of energy fluctuations in the body and mind and are a sign of adjustment to new frequencies. This is a good thing overall, but learning how to manage the symptoms and soften the process is an important facet of your spiritual growth. Take care of yourself and ride through the change process with patience and confidence. Big changes are being brewed within your soul, and the outcome will ultimately be something to celebrate. And then there's an invocation at the end. Let me know in the comments if the invocation is helpful or not. Most of Elena's decks have some kind of healing thing at the end of the interpretation, so just curious if those are helpful or not. Okay, your invocation says, I call upon the enlightened beings who love me unconditionally, requesting your grace, protection, guidance, intervention, and healing for my body, mind, and soul as I awaken and grow. I embrace your mercy and compassion with gratitude so that the process of awakening is as effortless and joyful as possible. May my body and mind be supported now to purify and stabilize swiftly. I celebrate the spiritual progress that the soul is capable of obtaining and hold a vision of beautiful healing alchemy for all beings, supported with kindness and guided by love. May all beings be assisted to walk their path with as much joy and as little suffering as possible. For the greater good, through my own free will and divine grace, so be it. All right, beautiful message. I hope that this was helpful for you guys, insightful. Something that helps you to kind of move forward with greater confidence in the insight that this brought. And that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Of course, as always, if this reading resonated, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, subscribes, as well as kind and thoughtful comments. But regardless, I am just grateful that you are here. That is supportive in itself. And I wish you a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, beautiful pile 3. You guys picked this honey colored calcite. And the message that you were drawn to is card 36, Reassurance of the Golden Light. Beautiful. So before we jump into the guidebook and read that message, I want to get one tarot card. The intention here is this is some kind of significator card for you guys, indicating why you were drawn to this message. So 5 of Wands is the card coming in here. So this could be sort of gathering your courage and making plans and strategies for some kind of big move in life. A lot of times this card will show like someone playing chess on it. And it does have a lot to do with strategizing, making a plan, organizing yourself in order to feel the strength welling up in you, ready to kind of present to the world something that's put together and presentable, really. Okay, so let's get your message. So number 36. Let me just get the page. Okay, this message, Reassurance of the Golden Light. The golden light comes to you as a gift of grace and reassurance. It is an embrace from the universe, an experience of divine comfort and a sign of hope. When the golden light appears, it is a sign that everything in your life, even the most troubling matters, are going to work out perfectly. They are held in the graceful hand of the divine and will be resolved more swiftly and beautifully than you might expect. Beautiful. In terms of like something working out perfectly, this is sort of like encouragement. I'm feeling that like the plans you are laying or the preparation you are engaged in to kind of put something into the world or yourself into the world or step into something bigger, whatever you're doing to prepare for that is being held by the divine. It's encouraging to continue on, like you're on the right path. This is, the things you are doing are great. Okay, we're going to go into a little more depth here. The golden light is a very real phenomenon, although you may only perceive it when you are particularly relaxed and feel connected to the inner vision of your heart. Whether you consciously perceive energies or not, they remain real and powerful. If you could see the golden light clairvoyantly, it would look similar to the golden rays of a setting sun. The same warm, loving glow is cast over your heart and mind when the golden light is shining upon you. If you are in a room when it comes upon you, you may wonder if a light has been switched on somewhere. The glow is like a powerful lamp, its warmth illuminating the space. Such comfort is connecting with your soul now, and you are encouraged to take a moment to imagine the relaxing and reassuring feeling of it in your heart. So just a little note before I continue, the 5 of Wands in terms of astrological associations, is a Leo card, and that is all about shining our light, feeling our light turn on. So it's very fitting. Okay, grace and divine assistance are always available, and there are times when the soul needs such spiritual support. Perhaps you are struggling with a particularly difficult time in an initiation, or a challenging choice lies before you. You have taken a leap and just need to know that you are doing the right thing, and that even though you don't feel in control of what is happening, everything is going to work out. During these times when we are most in need, we can forget to ask for help. The golden light is given to you freely as a gift from the heart of the universe. It is letting you know that you are a dearly loved child of the universe. It is reminding you that whilst the struggle to continue on the path with trust, patience, faith, and courage may seem almost overwhelming sometimes, the universe is with you, supporting, loving, and believing in you every step of the way. You are not alone. You are never forgotten. You are always loved and encouraged to take your journey. You are reminded that the universe is smiling upon you. The oracle is a token of spiritual friendship, a reminder that you are not alone. There are times when you will call upon the golden light because you are in need of loving consciousness, rather like your soul needing a hug. It is always okay to ask for this. You can use the invocation below. There are also times when you will spiritually sense that the golden light is already embracing your soul. This is such a moment. You are guided to allow yourself to feel peace in your heart, to let yourself feel better about things occurring in your life. The mind can make up stories about what is happening that might increase worry, and later those stories are proven to be the working of fear, not a fruitful reflection of a truly loving and protective spiritual wisdom always flowing in your life. The golden light expresses a truly divine wisdom and love. It knows what is going to be best, serve the soul, and how to deliver it. Sometimes that is all you need to know to be at peace. This oracle comes to you as a soul hug from the golden light of reassurance. The universe wishes to respond to you in a very specific way. It wishes to answer your prayers, even the prayers of worry and anxiety you made without realizing the universe was listening. What troubles you is already in the process of being resolved. The golden light says to you, I am with you now and always. Let me comfort you and bring you peace. Feel the beauty of my love for you. All is well. And then the invocation at the end, and let me know in the comments if the invocation is helpful. In most of Alana's decks, the guidebook has some kind of healing thing at the end. And since I'll probably be using many of her decks, not every week, but let me know if the invocation is helpful, if that's something that you would want always included. I call upon the golden light of reassurance, the comfort of the divine heart. Thank you for being with me now, for bringing me peace and comfort. May all beings know this divine reassurance. Thank you for loving me. May the golden light heal all beings of fear and doubt, gently bestowing mercy, compassion, and the loving reassurance of divine comfort into the hearts of all. Through divine grace and my own free will, so be it. Beautiful. Okay, that is your message for this week. I hope it resonated. I hope it was helpful, insightful, encouraging, which is sort of what this card feels like, this encouragement, reassurance. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes and shares and subscribes. Definitely kind and thoughtful comments as well. But regardless of any of that, I just appreciate and am grateful for you guys being here. That in itself is supportive, and I appreciate it. And yeah, I hope to see you in future readings and wish you well wherever and whenever you are.